Great. So welcome. I'm here to talk about how the Green School Foundation could use the blockchain, something that you may have heard about. And I see it as an alternative to the conventional fundraising model. At the last meeting, I was feeling like that was one of those sticking points that I didn't jive with. It didn't feel like we had a great solution for it. And so here's an idea. So you may have seen these things. They're Bitcoin. Post-financial crisis, this currency made its debut, and it's all based on cryptography. It went to solve a few different problems: fraud, intermediaries, throughput, and stable data. So the currency itself managed to solve all of these using a decentralized one. And the one that I think we're most interested in as the Green School Foundation is the idea of intermediaries. How do we cut out all these middle people so that we can really make sure that donations and investments in the Green School Foundation go directly to the allocation of professional development or services through the foundation. So the distributed ledger or blockchain has diversified a ton since the start of Bitcoin. Here's just a few examples of where it is going and where it may go. First of all, you've got Ethereum, which started last year and extended beyond the idea of a cryptocurrency and actually provides now a full platform that's completely open source and allows people to use a distributed ledger as a way to create smart contracts, do digital governance. The possibilities here are endless and have barely been tapped at this point in time. From Ethereum, you have things like Gnosis, which have taken the Ethereum platform and developed something that adds a different value. In the case of Gnosis, it is a predictive engine and uses their tokens as a tool to create a more powerful distributed predictive engine and allows that service to be sold. And then it starts to get even more real with things like Greencoin. And Greencoin is a cryptocurrency or a token that is traded based on the value of alternative energies. So you are a solar producer. This allows you to create green coins, and consumers who are interested in buying your energy can then purchase credits through the blockchain, and they then can pay for that directly without worrying about intermediaries. Now, let's go into how these can actually make money. Well, in a traditional system, what would this foundation token look like? And I see it linked to the hours of Green School expertise. So there needs to be a value behind the token. And in this case, the value that Green School Foundation can provide is really the expertise in making a Green School-esque type school. Whether that's their professional development, helping to set up a Green School from the start, all of that is going to take a different number of hours. Now, most cryptocurrencies are based on inflationary techniques, and ours could be based on capacity. So we release more tokens as we build capacity. That would mean that we're always distributing the number of tokens equivalent to what we see as a realistic capacity. And then finally, the additional tokens could be generated by teaching the Green School way. So in the long term, it could go beyond Green School. The more schools that adopt a ethos and alignment with Green School, they also can then be producers of these tokens. So you may have heard of an initial public offering, and this is a way for a corporation to gain finances so that they can carry out larger, more ambitious projects. And the IPO is entirely based on the perceived value of the corporation. So whether or not their product is consistent is a factor, but really you're putting your trust in the corporation itself. Now, cryptocurrencies have recently started something, and these are kind of crazy. They generate millions of dollars of investment in minutes in some cases, and these are called initial coin offerings. Now, a big difference is that these are based on the value associated with a service or product. So as opposed to something like an IPO where you're putting trust in a corporation, here you're putting your trust in the product, and the corporation, or the foundation in our case, is actually just a means to that end. So how could we use this in the Green School Foundation? Well, I would suggest we go through an initial coin offering system of our own. We generate the Green School Foundation coins, and it's a limited release to the public. Now, what this would do is it would create our own distributed ledger. That means that we have our own infrastructure around this, but it's not hosted on a server. This is a distributed application. It goes to whoever is using this as an exchange token. Now, who'd be interested in this? Well, you've got all your consumers. First of all, it'll probably attract a lot of speculators who see value in the concept and want to invest in those tokens right away, or the angel investors who agree with the philosophies behind it. You may also have schools that are looking for immediate professional development, and they may be buying tokens which are equated to hours of expertise, essentially, so that later they can use the Green School Foundation for their own professional development. And our biggest target would, of course, be a future green school. Now, on the other side of it, you've got your producers. So Green School Bali would be the main producer, since we right now are creating most of the concepts here. But we can also extend it into a way to add revenue to things like Cool Cool Connection, where Cool Cool is teaching more and more aligned with the Green School way. And as they do this, we grant them tokens, which then they can resell on this market. And then the Green School Foundation, through things like the Green Educator course and Green Education Online, would also be producing a number of tokens as well. And then ultimately, in the end, you would get future green schools sending these tokens back through the system and moving from the consumer side to the producer side. And as this happens, our capacity grows, and we are able to offer more and more professional development along that way. So I hope this has given you kind of a rough idea of how we could use this super exciting and new technology that I personally believe is going to be changing a lot of how our world interacts in the next 5 to 10 years. And being on the front right now is an opportunity. People are looking for applied ways of using the distributed ledger system. If we were one of the early adopters, you would capture a huge amount of interest around being a vanguard and pushing the system. So thanks for listening, and I hope you found this informational. Have a good one.